Howdy y'all, it's time. It's time to work on this engine. So I've got all these honed, but I do have a couple of them that I'm just not quite happy enough with. I'd like to hit this one a little bit and hit this one a little bit more, but I'm going to do that off of camera and catch up with you in a second. Cleaner's over here on the bench. He's got the pistons out of 4G and the rods from 7J. And what do you got going on here?
So I've got all of the 7J's pistons off of its rods. We're going to use 4G pistons with 7J wrist pins, rods, and main bearings, of course, that go with match those rods. So the only difference will really be we'll have 4G pistons, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And mainly because the compression rings were a little tighter, I don't know why, on 4G than on 7J's pistons. Our ring gap in here was better on these by several thousandths than on 7J's.
He's not talking about the gap in the ring. What he's talking about is the play up and down on the rings in these pistons. And you can see these ones on 7J, they're pretty wobbled out. We got a guest appearance today. It's Ma Cleaner, and I promised her I wouldn't put her in the video.
Yeah, just cleaning up where the keepers go so that they'll slip in good.
Well, Dad's working on those pistons. I'm going to get this crank outside and get it cleaned off. And we have another unseasonably warm, beautiful day out here in Colorado. And yeah, we're going to get to that truck in the future. But we want to keep on track with 4G. Got the crank up here on the bench. I'm using a little bit of Brasso. And I'm going to put it on these journals and polish these up. Got this polished up pretty well. I'm fairly happy with the results. I'm not going to get it perfect. And I know there's probably some of you out there that are asking, why didn't we just take it to a machine shop and have them do it? Well, that costs money. And that costs a lot of money. And a lot of money we really don't have. And this crank also came out of a newer machine that had also been rebuilt that we knew was running.
I wonder if they weren't put in when they redid this
motor. Well, they were. The dates on those sleeves are different. They're newer than the ones in 4G. They're like 1953 or 4. And the reason we're even questioning that is because number 4 back here, we thought this was the best one that honed out really nice up top here. But down below, there's some pitting in there that we can feel right about there. So we're thinking we might pop this one back out and put one of those better ones in off of 7J. Dad's cleaning it up in the washer over here. Okay, Cleaner, I cleaned up the outside of this sleeve. Are you happy with it? Am I on par for the cleaner?
I must admit he did a pretty good job. It looks very good.
So we're going to go ahead and pop that piston sleeve out in the back there, number 4, and put this one in there. And then once we get it in there, then I'll go ahead and hone it. But this one's not going to take a lot. Okay. Are you going to grab it if it comes out?
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's coming. It's coming.
I think I'm past the...
You're past the first ring.
Yeah. Yep. We're moving.
Yeah, you're level now. You're going to have to...
I can do this. If you could catch it, it'll come out, I think, fairly easy.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
There it is. We're wedged, aren't we? Well, we didn't really think that through, but we'll turn the block and get it out of there.
You got to come around anyway.
Yeah, I'll go all the way around so we can put the new sleeve in. We're going to clean this up with a little brake cleaner. Once I get it in the engine block, then I'll hone it one more time. Fortunately, I had the foresight to buy a few extra of these O-rings that go around the liner in the bottom. I got 2 more new ones. They're a 3S 3977, I'm going to put those on. We're going to leave the new ones on the sleeve that we just took out. We might use that in 5T. We do a lot of these things like deja vu, doing it over and over again, don't we?
That's how we're learning. We're mastering the craft.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, this way.
Towards the inspection plate, yeah.
For the inspection plate, we'll
turn it
right there. Okay.
Turn it as you, the other, there you go.
I may need you to help me. There, pals. It's cold today.
That's one.
Is our ring in okay, or copper? Yeah.
Looks like it.
There it goes. Okay. We're good here, I think. Yeah, I can feel it all the way around.
That's fine.
Yeah, it's in there. And what are you doing over here?
I'm cleaning up these piston ring grooves to accept so that everything's clean here.
This is our last one. The others are clean. I guess after this, we'll be putting in rings. This one really did clean up the best. And we have really good cross-hatching in here. I'm very happy with this cylinder. And this being number 4, this is the one that we're going to want the best sleeve, because this is the furthest away from the front of the engine, so it takes a while to get the water back here and circulated. So this is also the one that gets the most heat. And I think Dad and I are now comfortable with all these sleeves. Well, what do you think? I think we've been stalling enough. I think it's maybe time to start putting this engine together.
I think so too.
All right, we'll do one final cleaning, and then we'll put the crank in. So that ready to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can put it in there.
Yeah, I cleaned her all up as best I can.
So that's the rear main bearing. That's the top of it.
It's in.
There, it kind of snapped in. You
Yeah.
could hear it. This one goes here,
That's
like so.
The fourth one.
Yeah. We're going to be using the Permatex Ultra Slick engine assembly lube to go on all the bearings. You're shining these up with some steel wool, it looks like.
Just so there isn't anything so they won't fit.
Then rinse them really well.
Yeah, I'll go clean it off.
Blow them off with air. Get them nice and clean.
Okay, I got all the top caps in. Just checking them here. Fitting nice.
All right.
Just the way they come out.
Let me go check the torque specs, and we'll put some assembly lube on these too. And this is our book for the D4400 engine, the one we're working on. And I'm looking up the torque specs for our main bearings. It's saying 1,450 inch-pounds, which converts to approximately 121 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and torque them to about 120 and call it good. The rod bearings on the end of the rod, they torque to 700 inch-pounds, and that converts to around 58.3 foot-pounds. So probably we'll torque those to around 60. Because all these have cotter pins that go through the castle nut to lock it in place after it's torqued, it says that it is permissible to exceed this value by the amount necessary to turn the nut to the next slot for alignment with the cotter pin hole. So I don't think we have to worry about slightly over torquing it to get to the next hole. What they're saying is don't back it off, just go ahead and tighten it. I'm going to put a little of this engine lube on there and get started.
so slick it wants to slide.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. This is a big step. That'll get that grease around there good.
Okay.
Let's put our caps on. We'll start in the middle and we'll torque it outwards. Rear main over here, out. This is the rope gasket seal that actually goes in this groove here. And I've got a new one here. And I need to soak that in some oil before we try to stuff that in there, but we're not going to do that quite yet.
So our thrust bearing on this is on this front cover up here. But on the later tractors, they switched it like 7U over there. Your center bearing has your thrust back and forth this way. So we won't be able to deal with that until we get this other paraphernalia on up here.
Okay.
The part number faces forward on the engine.
Yep.
And I had these top...
there should be hash marks marked on the back that should be on this side over here, which they are, number 3. And those were marked when we took this apart already.
Right, somebody was into it, so that's plenty. Okay.
You want the dead blow to tap it down?
Right. There it goes.
There it goes.
Just with it.
I just noticed there's actually 2 sets of holes on these.
Yeah.
For tightening them. All right, let's get the next one.
All right.
This is kind of an exciting step, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
We've been waiting to do this for a while. Okay, next.
There it goes.
Whoop. Everything's still good?
Yeah,
oh, I see.
We got to go in that other.
Kind of a little notch out right there.
There it goes.
There we go.
It's getting heavy on this engine stand.
Yeah, a little bit.
There they are. Fit. There it's going.
Now we're getting to the opening in there. That's it. I'll grab the speed wrench and spin these down and then I'll torque them. I'm going to torque these to 120 and there's actually no specification of how to do this, so I'm going to just use kind of a standard procedure. Start in the middle and work my way out on each side. I almost forgot, before we torque these, there's a couple of cap screws that go in here in the end. And these are, take a 5/16 hex.
Be sure you're down in the groove, because one of them was boogered up.
Yeah, this one here is. We're okay. Alright, now let me torque everything. So we just torqued everything down, and we did them all at 100 foot-pounds first, and then just torqued them again at 120. And these are actual 3B4619 cotter keys. Naturally, it looks like this is the only one that we have that lined up with the hole in the stud, so I don't know. Guess we have to go through this way.
Yeah.
And it's even a little bit.
Yeah, it's not quite perfect, but it should go in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's one. I think that one should be cut. Well, maybe not.
It's fine.
Okay.
Finishing up on the very last one here, we got all these other ones in, and they took quite a bit of torque to get them to line up because we didn't want to go backwards, and some of these were just off from hitting it right perfect with what we torqued them. So I think
Cat says that's the way to do it.
That's the proper cat procedure, but they are all very tight, aren't they?
Yeah, they're They're well over 120 foot-pounds.
Oh yeah, easily. The crank does turn, you know, just by hand, so I think we're okay. Now I do think our stand is heavy enough, but we've noticed quite a bit of droop in that engine stand since we put the crank and these main bearing caps in here. So what we're going to do is pick the end of this engine up, and we have some room here. We can slide this back a little further into our stand. And I think our wink point's probably these right here, where these bolts are. They're all grade 8. They're all in there well. It's probably fine, but this is just precautionary.
A little bit. There we go.
All right, now we should
might be a little high, but...
That made a big difference. Now we can turn this actually a lot easier than we could before. And we put some grease in there. So, Grandpa, as always, you were right. What do you think? You ready to gap some rings?
Yeah.
Let's do it. 6 5F6326 rings, new old stock. And we're going to use all brand new compression rings in cylinder number 4, because again, that's the one that gets all the heat back there. I have a can of engine oil in here, and you can see down in the bottom, I've got kind of a rope in there. Looks like a shoelace, and what that is kind of a wax coated, and this is the seal for the main seal at the back of the engine. And what you're supposed to do is soak it in oil, and it also helps to basically make it into this zigzag like this, because we're going to need to pack this seal into the grooves on each side of the rear main seal on that engine. So I'm going to get this soaking while we work on the pistons, and we'll catch up with this later. So the reason we're doing that is because these new aftermarket rings are out of spec. So they're actually wider this direction. This direction they're fine, but the width of them is too wide. So we had to do some modification on the pistons on the lower rings. Now the oil rings from these crown rings are fine. These are within spec. They worked out just fine. But I'll show you what I'm talking about. This is piston number 4. So this one we haven't modified anything. We're going to use all the new old stock rings on the top, and the oil rings in here will be fine. They are within spec. However, on 3, 2, and 1, we've left the top compression ring alone. But the 2 below have actually been grooved out with the lathe. Just a little bit to give it enough room for that thicker ring. So we've taken a few thousandths off of these 2 lower compression rings right here above the oil ring on the lathe. And Antique Crawler Parts did one while we were up there, and we did the other 2 on our lathe. So now we need to gap the rings.
I have a compression ring in there, and I've squared it up with the piston.
Okay.
And I've been checking this, and I have a tight, pretty snug 16 thousandths here.
Okay.
Which means we're a little too tight.
Okay.
We want 18 to 20.
18 to 20 on compressions.
On compressions. And we can go as little as 15 to 16 on oil, but the compressions, our master mechanic told us go 18 to 20, no less than 18.
Okay. And this is one of our new old stock rings in there, correct?
Yes.
And that is where this tool comes in, right here. We're going to start on number 3, because I have extra ones of those rings, and I don't want to experiment with the new old stock ones that we're going to use on number 4.
It's really tight. Let me square it up.
Okay.
It's tight.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
you have your feeler gauge?
Yeah, let me get it.
Oh, yeah.
It's tight.
It's too
That's got to be ground.
Tight. We'll have to grind
Definitely.
it. Okay.
So that's going to need quite a bit, because we got nothing right now.
No. this is definitely going to take quite a bit of grinding to get it squared away, so this tool's almost a little small for this. And we're going to use one of the new old stock at the top compression ring for 1, 2, and 3. So when we gap these rings, we're checking it down below the very top because some of these sleeves had a little bit of a groove.
It's definitely looser.
Yes, I can see a little bit of space in there.
It's square. Oh yeah, it's a lot looser.
Okay. We just don't want to grind too much. Oh yeah, I can see it. I don't think you're going to get a feeler gauge in there yet.
Yeah, we can get, let's see where we're at.
All right, we'll check it. Got there.
That's a 15.
Okay.
A 15 is, it
looks a little snug yet.
It's very snug. It won't even go in. I'll bet it's a 14.
So we're going to have to take a little bit more off.
Yeah. We'll square it up.
I can tell already it's got a little bit more of a gap than it did.
Now we're square.
Oh yeah.
We might have went too far. Let me get my 20 out here. We might have went too far.
And I'm maybe talking out of my ear here, but I think that the rule was that too far is better than too little.
Yeah, we're over 20.
Are we really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad we experimented here on this one.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see where we're at here.
We are going to have one of these extra out of number 4 here. We'll have 2 extra, so.
What? Yeah, we really went too far on that guy.
Yeah, we just kind of made that ring useless probably. It might work on another one, but we're going to have to be more careful.
Yeah.
You want to make sure we gap it at the same distance.
Oh, see, it's still tight.
Oh, yeah.
See?
So now we're gun shy, and this is going to take forever.
There's got to be a way. I don't know how else you would do it.
I don't either.
We're getting close now.
Yeah, that looks a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks really good. I think we might be. If it's 18, I'm leaving it.
We're not going to press our luck?
No. Shall we stop there?
Yes. Okay.
All right, here is an 18. We went a little bit more, but not enough. We're gun shy now.
We're probably like at 19.
No, we're at probably still 16 or 17.
So we need just a smidge more.
We're a little tight.
Yeah.
The 18 is just starting. Go. That's probably good. Yeah.
We good with 18?
I think so.
All right.
Let me see what the 20 does. If the 20 don't go, we're good.
Okay. That's our go, no-go gauges.
Right. Ooh, a 20. 20 will almost go, but not quite. We're probably like at 19. I'd say that one's good.
Yeah, I think if we mess with it, we're going to probably regret it.
We're good with that one.
All right.
You got it?
Yeah.
You got to go bigger. You just started right there. Right there.
That one?
Yeah.
Aftermarket kits, they come with the 2 oil rings, and they come with 3 compression rings. One of the 3 compression rings you can see right there has a step in it. So virtually unusable, so we're not going to use it. And then they come with a steel, like a black carbon steel compression ring. And then they have a chrome compression ring. So our plan is to put the OEM new old stock Caterpillar compression ring at the top, followed by the crown chrome compression ring, followed by the black carbon steel compression ring. Oh yeah, I think we got it this time.
Without the rings on it.
Yeah.
To square it up, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we're pretty
yeah.
tight.
It's tight, but we're getting close.
Here's an 18, and we're nowhere close.
You're pretty close.
We don't have to go too much.
No. This is where we go over the top, so let's go easy. Not get too carried away. Are you ready?
Yeah. Let me get my hammer handle away there. What do you think?
I think let's try it.
18 is very tight.
It's snug.
Yeah, and it won't go all the way.
Yeah, it starts, but it's not going in. So a little bit more.
We didn't need much.
No.
Yeah, it's an easy 18.
Okay,
I'd say leave that one.
We're probably closer to 19.
Yeah.
We'll leave it alone. Okay, so we got those two compression rings. We got one more to do at the top. We're going to check out and see what an oil ring looks like.
This is still our 15. 15 goes easy. You're probably
like 17 or 16.
We have a tight 18. You can go as little as 15 or 16.
Okay.
If it's on oil. But the compression, we do not want to go that tight.
Right.
So this will be fine. We got a snug 18 there.
Okay.
Yeah, that 18 is nice and snug. There it is. That's a 16. Goes right in, no problem.
Perfect.
I'd say leave it.
Yeah, this is a they do look a little different, these two oil rings. This one's kind of a chrome. So we're going to put it up at the top oil ring, which is actually right there. And then the other one we'll put at the bottom. And I don't see any maker mark in these rings, so I don't know that it matters which one is top and bottom. There you go. There you go. We got one more compression ring to do.
The top one.
Yeah. We're scared, but this is our new old stock Cat one for the top.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Well, that way we'll be done with this piston. These were a lot closer than those.
Yes. Yeah, they
See,
were.
it's already, it'll go down in and square up, so. Oh, look, it's already a 16 right there.
Yeah.
We may not have to do much on this guy.
No, that's good, because we don't want to.
Double check 18. It's very snug. So it won't go in.
If we do anything, it's not going to take much at all, just a hair.
No, it'll just start, but it won't go in. 16 went easy. It's probably right now sitting at about 17.
Yeah.
There's an 18. Goes right in.
Should we leave it be?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to. Let's do it. See, just for fun, just see where the what the 20 does. 20's very tight.
Yeah.
It won't. It'll start.
You're probably somewhere around 19.
But it won't go all the way. It won't slide in and out.
So we're good.
I'd say we're good with that one.
No, I can't tell a top or bottom. There's nothing marked. I looked. I didn't see anything, so.
Oh, I'm not down there.
Nope.
I thought I was. There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Okay.
Cat ring on the top. The chrome ring out of the crown ring set. The black steel ring out of the crown set. The chrome oil ring out of the crown set. And the black steel oil ring down here. So that one's done and ready to get put in. So we got all the rings into that piston. That was number 3. We're going to do all of the rest of these. The only one that's going to be different is number 4. We're going to put all new old stock Caterpillar compression rings in number 4. It's going to get the crown oil rings just like all the rest of them. And we're going to do that off camera because I'm sure y'all got the picture, and we're going to catch up with you in just a second. Well, that was a very tedious process. It probably took us a couple hours to get everything gapped and installed, but we're very happy with the results. We went to about 18 to 20 on the compression rings gap, and the oils are 16 to 18. So that is what we were advised. That's what we did, and everything is where it should be. We're going to put the pistons in here. This is a really exciting step. I'm really happy to start doing this. People been asking about you, buddy. And there's Zoe right there. What are you doing, Z? And it's because all these have cotter pins.